Hey guys, how's it going? It's 8-Bit Eric, and there is some, I guess, unfortunate news in the world of GameStop. Back in March, the company announced that they would be closing down stores and stuff like that. And then earlier in 2020, they had a plan to restructure their stores, their business model. They brought Reggie Fils and May on board, but it just seems with the pandemic and everything going down as far as business goes in the physical realm of things, with digital being a huge proponent and stuff, GameStop is facing some more hurdles and will be closing more stores this year. So we're going to read something from PC Mag, and then I'm going to give my thoughts on this and stuff like that. So here we go. PC Mag says GameStop is closing up to 450 stores this year. Back in March, the company only expected to close 300 stores this year. More closures are expected in 2021. So unfortunately, it says retail suffering badly due to the coronavirus pandemic and has forced GameStop to close even more stores than it planned this year. Last year, the games retailer closed 321 stores, classed as underperforming by CFO James Bell. It followed tumbling hardware and software sales by the company, and that was before anyone had even heard the word COVID-19. Then in March, 300 more store closures were announced in what Bell classed as continuing to de-densify our global store fleet. It seems 300 isn't enough anymore, though. So they had this plan to basically close down stores that weren't performing. As far as I know, like my GameStop, they're a prestige store. The one of the managers there actually was telling me that they're going to be doing closing of stores that are underperforming, that don't get the numbers, that don't get the pre-orders, that basically aren't meeting the goals of the prestige stores. So that was kind of hinted to me. The manager there told me all that. So this seems that fell in line with what they were doing. So it says, as CNN reports, GameStop's second quarter revenue came in below analyst expectations, even though online sales increased by 800%. So they had good online sales, but I guess the analyst expectations were still higher than that. I don't know. The company's reaction to this is to increase the number of store closures happening this year from 300 to 400, 450 globally. So they're going to increase store closures by another 100. Bell also said in an earnings call this week that there's more to do, which means more store closures will be happening in 2021, which, say what you want to say in regards to GameStop. I know a lot of people are mixed with their feelings towards the company. Me, I don't want to see them completely shut down. I want restructuring. I want them to do well. I don't want GameStop to close. So we don't know how many yet, though. For now, GameStop continues to operate 5,122 stores worldwide. Video game retailers have been placed in an increasingly difficult situation for years now due to mainly the growing popularity of digital game sales. So this goes on and says, digital is everything now. Whether we like it or not, whether we are physical advocates for games, I like physical as well. With the changing climate of online gaming, with the pandemic, things like that, digital has been growing immensely. In fact, Microsoft and PlayStation have these digital-only consoles. But here we go. The thing ends. As Statista reports, digital sales have grown from just 20% in 2009 to 83% in 2018. So that is a huge jump, 20 to 83%. The pandemic has closed retail stores and pushed even more people to buy online. So the outlook for game retail stores certainly doesn't look healthy going forward, even if we're about to get a new generation of hardware. And again, new generation, it doesn't help that both Sony and Microsoft have done digital-only consoles as available. So that, in the long run, doesn't just hurt GameStop, but it hurts video game stores, mom and pops, smaller chains, like, that might sell pre-owned titles and things like that. GameStop has been struggling for quite some time. 2020 seems like it's been a hard year for the retailer, and there's been rumblings from everything of them going bankrupt to them just closing down in total. Their stock has gone down and gone up and then synced a little bit, but it's still for whatever reason, they're kicking. I mean, at one point early on in the pandemic, they actually closed stores from being open, and then they managed to get them reopened and do the curbside. And then some locations you can actually walk in, like my GameStop location. You can go in. They have a limited amount of customers. They've been doing a lot of sales. They just did that Game Coin program. It seems like they've been trying to do a lot of different options to keep the boat afloat. But nevertheless, this call with the CFO, James Bell, has brought some news that they will be closing some more stores, which in the bigger picture of things, again, you might not like GameStop. You might have negative feelings towards them. You might think their business practices are bad. You might think this is karma picking up on them. In the grander scheme of things, as far as retail stores go for games, I personally feel this is not a good sign. Maybe GameStop has a plan that they'll be able to operate better with less stores. Maybe this is saving them money, obviously, by closing down stores. If they're doing it where they're closing stores that are underperforming, that aren't making as much money as they would want as far as their business model goes, I guess maybe that's a good thing. Let's see if that number increases. So 450 stores out of the 5,122 that they're operating as of right now. I mean, that's a pretty big chunk, but at least it's not 1,000 stores closing. So if we start to see stores in the thousands close, we might see some problems. But I mean, just around me, there's at least 3 GameStops that seem to be doing all right within a 10-15 minute radius of me. I don't see any of those closing down, but if one of them does close, that'll be interesting to see how it affects the other ones. The one literally within 10 minutes of me, though, excellent store, excellent customer service. The managers are spot on. They always have the prestige tag. So, you know, I know there's people out there, again, that have their things to say about GameStop, but I don't want to see them close down. And reading news like this, I'm not a sympathizer or anything, but, you know, this is more than just GameStop that's being affected here. This is retail in general. And with the new console generation coming out, it's interesting to see stuff like this being effective. I don't know if this is more of a GameStop just doing bad in general, because before the pandemic, again, they weren't doing too hot. They were already going to close down stores. And then now, on top of it, pandemic came, and they're having to increase store closures. So it's, in my opinion, it's always unfortunate to see companies closing down. So say what you want about GameStop. Say how you feel about it. I don't think this is a good sign at all. Anyways, comment down below, guys. Let me know your thoughts. Subscribe if you haven't. I'll keep you guys up to date on this. Just kind of wanted to talk about this because I found it interesting. I'll see you guys on the next video. Have a great day.